welcome to Armstrong High School for Northwest Suburban Conference Baseball here on CCX. Our season opener for the 2021 season and first high school baseball that we have had in nearly 2 years, of course, after last spring was canceled. It's Andover and Armstrong here today, second game of the season for both. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Drew Keogh as these teams get set to battle. Sun peeking out just as the game is getting ready to begin as you look at Brian Sobiak of Armstrong and Pete Anderson, the Andover head coach, going over the ground rules with the umpires here. As we said, second game for both teams. Andover beat Blaine, a sacrifice fly in the 7th inning to beat probably their biggest rival 3-2 on Wednesday. And Armstrong didn't fare so well. They got 10 run by Hopkins in the only game that they've been able to squeeze in. Had a couple of others that were pushed back or postponed due to weather. So the Falcons coming in at 0-1. Andover will send up a lineup that looks like this today. Kyle Law, the center fielder, will lead it off. Max Hunter, the pitcher, hitting second. Logan Myers catches and hits third. Ryan Coltis, the first baseman, hitting fourth. Noah D'Agostino, the shortstop, in the 5 slot. Logan Gravenick, the left fielder, hit sixth. Tyler Lunau at second base, hitting seventh. Davis Goman, the right fielder, hitting in the 8th slot. And Owen Forshane, the third baseman, bats number 9 for the Huskies here this afternoon. And the defensive alignment for Armstrong here today. Got Grant Proctor is at third base. The shortstop is Chris Bray. Isaac Pilon at second base, and Dayton Franke as the first baseman. And then the outfield left to right, it is Bryce Campbell, Owen Reeve, and Spencer Sobiak. The catcher is Noah Wiesjohn, and doing the pitching is senior left-hander Christian Munt. And Munt is going to be playing baseball for Northern State, and he pitched a little bit in that first game against Hopkins and worked an inning and a third, struck out a couple, and did not allow a run. And going to see actually a pair of left-handed pitchers here today. Both of them will be on kind of a pitch count of around 70 to 75, it sounded like, and it's still pretty cool weather, and we're obviously very early in the season, so I think that's going to be very typical of most teams. You don't want to burn somebody out this early on, but nice to see baseball back first and foremost here, Drew, and I know these teams are really excited to get after it.
Yeah, Jay, it's good to be back, and we were talking the pregame at one of the last games that I worked was one of the last games that CCX did, and it's great to be back out in the field and seeing the kids out here. Everybody trying to be as safe as possible, but when the weather kind of warms up a little bit, the field dries out, it means it's time for baseball, and in Minnesota, it's anytime you get a chance when it's not raining and it's not 40 mile-an-hour winds, you want to get out in the field and play a game. So it's fun to see Armstrong playing host to Andover, and field looks to be in pretty good shape, so hopefully we have a fun game today.
As we said, Armstrong, their only game they got in was actually late last week, and then there were a couple dates that had to be slid back already, which obviously isn't terribly unusual in the beginning part of the season especially, but pretty decent weather here today. It's not the warmest day that it's going to eventually get to, but it's I think upper 40s to maybe around 50 as we get set for beginning of this one here.
Yeah, my oldest son at home, he's a baseball player himself, and he just had his team's first practice last night, but unfortunately he wasn't able to make it for protocol reasons. But it was kind of nice because it was raining and cold, and I was like, this is not a good day for baseball. But today, no rain, just a little wind. Field, again, like I said, it's a big part of playing the game at this point in the season is making sure the field's in good shape, and grass looks thick, and it looks like it's pretty dry for the most part.
It's always kind of amusing too, because the high school coaches, they know that it's not that much fun playing when it's cold and windy and a little wet, but at the same time you'll always hear them telling the kid, hey, we got to be ready no matter what. You don't get an asterisk by the game if you lose because the weather wasn't that great. If it's good enough to play, it's the same for both teams, and you just got to put it out of your head the best you can.
Yeah, it also helps with scheduling later on down in the season too. Keeps a little bit of the chaos out of the play if you can get the games in early on the season.
Scoreboard is not working here at Armstrong, so we'll do our best to keep you updated on that a little bit. Kyle Law, first pitch swinging here, and fouls this one back and out of play.
Right in the spot where people have learned not to park. There's a couple cars back there that are taking the chance, but that's one of the first things I reminded myself of when I pulled in the parking lot is park way away from the field if you can, especially on the right side.
Law, another pop foul out of play back over our heads. So an 0-2 count here early on. Obviously, if you're a starting pitcher here, the pitch count's probably more of it than anything, but you'd like to be efficient so you can maybe get through 4 innings or 5 innings or something like that. A complete game's probably out of the question for either guy, but this time Law driving it down the right field line and foul.
Well hit ball down the right side of the field there. And to your point, Jay, it's early in the season. I always stress this early in the seasons. You want to see the fundamentals come out in these players because they've been either cooped up at home or in the gym trying to work on the little things, but getting out here in the field, it's different. And when you play against a team that these players and this team, you want to start throwing strikes. You want to do the little things and get them down, and then you start to build on that momentum.
So far, Munt's been shooting strikes in there and 3 foul balls. That one is outside, popping off the mid of Wiesjohn, so 1-2. Law was on base 4 times in their opener against Blaine. An error or a base hit, so he's had a good start, being kind of dialed in early, if you will. I mean, obviously it's only 1 game sample, but breaking ball lifted out to right field, and charging in and able to make the grab there is Sobiak for the Falcons. And Law, good battle, but Munt ends up winning it. 1 out. Max Hunter will step in now for Andover, a left-hand hitter.
Yeah, good at bat by Law there at the top of the order, and like you said, in this small sample size, but that first game, that's your job at the top of the order, is to do anything you can to get on base, whether it's an error, you hustle it out, infield hit. Unfortunately, there he had a good at bat, but for Armstrong, they're able to get that first out of the inning.
Hunter takes a strike. Andover really 2 guys back as varsity players from 2 years ago, and one of them's out injured right now. So for most teams, it's going to be almost an entirely new varsity from what you saw 2 years ago. And obviously there's some sophomores that are good enough to play here and there, but by and large you're going to see people who are new to varsity for the most part, I think, on a lot of the teams, especially in the bigger schools like these. Little chopper to third. This will be a tough play. Hunter hustling, and he is out. Nice job to come up throwing there by Proctor, as able to charge that ball right off the bat. You knew that one could potentially be trouble. It just wasn't hit very hard, and the grass hasn't, been mowed yet or anything, and I'm sure, and it's a little bit soft there in front of the plate after the rains we've had, but nice job by Proctor.
Yeah, good read right off the bat. Knew it wasn't hit too hard, so he ran in as fast as he could, fielded it cleanly, and got it over to first base pretty quickly to get that out.
Logan Myers, the catcher, will step in now for the Huskies with nobody on base and 2 outs. Breaking ball is low for ball 1. A lot of times on the plays like that, it's getting your mind to slow down as much as anything, because you know right off that you're thinking, I have to hurry, but you don't want that to come into how things go physically. You just want to stick with your approach. Grounded down to first base, and Franke up with it, and he'll make the play unassisted, and a good first inning for Armstrong starter Munt, as he gets the Huskies 1, 2, 3, no runs, no hits, no one left on for Andover. So we have completed 1/2 inning here at Armstrong High School, and the Falcons will get their first opportunity with the bat. They scored 2 runs in that season opening game against Hopkins, but unfortunately ended up giving up 12. And so Brian Sobiak's lineup for this afternoon's contest, he does have quite a few seniors on the team. So again, not a ton of them have played varsity ball before, but Isaac Pilon will bat first for the Falcons. Bryce Campbell, the left fielder, will hit second. Then it's the pitcher Munt. Grant Proctor, who made that nice play at third base, will be in the cleanup spot. Noah Wiesjohn, the catcher, hitting 5th. Dayton Franke, who's a freshman, playing over at first base. And Chris Bray. Nolan College is a DH hitting for the center fielder Reeve. And then Spencer Sobiak, who is the nephew of head coach Brian Sobiak, batting in the number 9 slot for the Falcons. And defensively, here's the lineup for the Huskies as for Shane at third base. D'Agostino is the shortstop. Second baseman Tyler Lunau, and at first base is Ryan Coltis. Graveneck, Law, and Goman in the outfield. Myers the catcher, and then doing the pitching is the left-hander Max Hunter. He's got a fastball, curve, and a little bit of a changeup, and Coach Anderson said he'll kind of sneaky fast because he's not a real tall guy, but he's very muscular, and he throws it a little bit harder than maybe what people are expecting based on watching him, and said that he has a tendency to get in on hitters a little quicker than what they're thinking. He kind of has a nice motion that's nice and easy, and the ball kind of explodes on him a little bit. So that's what they're looking for out of Hunter. And Isaac Pilon will be the hitter for Armstrong. He was 0 for 3 in their first game of the season, did reach on an error. Takes that one for a ball, squared a little bit just to get the defense wondering as for Shane was charging in from third. Outside with that one, and it's 2-0. And that one's in the dirt, so Pilon trying to get on to start the game here, and a little bit of difficulty for Hunter to throw a strike in the first part here. That one's high and tight, and Pilon will draw a walk.
You know, it's the little things, Jay. That's that showing bunt on that first pitch. He probably had no intent to bunt that ball, but that's what a lot of leadoff hitters do, is they show that to try and distract the pitcher, get them off their game right away, and that allowed him to get ahead in the count. Now Armstrong does what they typically do, and this is what Coach Sobiak is known for. He just does this small ball. It's hustle. That's what Armstrong baseball is built around.
Bryce Campbell, the hitter, he was 2 for 2 in their opener. Takes that one for a strike as he bluffed bunt. And he had a triple and drove in a run, so he certainly fared well in that opening game against Hopkins. Rip and a miss as he throws it by Campbell there, and it's 0-2. Hunter coming back after walking the first hitter.
Campbell was a little caught off guard there. His swing didn't look like he was very focused. I think he was expecting a different pitch, but now he's down 0-2. He's got to do whatever he can to protect that plate and put the ball in play.
Outside, throw down to first, and back in safely as Pilon. Nice dig on that ball by the first baseman Coltis there as well. Yeah, not much scouting report, I'm sure, for any of these guys from before. I mean, you might say, you know, has anybody seen this guy in youth ball or JV or something? But, I mean, there's not going to be much. Lifted out to center field. It's playable, and drifting over for the catch there is Law. So Campbell flies out to center. One out now with Pilon still at first base, and the pitcher Munt will step up here for Armstrong. He went 0 for 3. As a hitter against Hopkins. It's now the sun back behind the clouds, and be interesting. Seemingly not too bad a day to see the ball out there. It didn't look like Law had any trouble tracking that ball. We'll flip to first.
It's your job as a leadoff hitter, especially when you got a base. You try and create chaos out there, and you know, getting a throw over to first base. If that ball gets by the first baseman, he's probably over to third base.
Fouled back and out of play here by Munt, and I think you don't generally have quite enough time to really work on those kind of things as much as you'd like before the first game, I think, as well. The timing on stealing and all of that kind of thing. So I think the advantage probably is to the base runner in the early part of the first week or so of the season.
Yeah, and it's a long game. I mean, it's only top of the first inning. You're trying to see what this pitcher's moves are like so everybody else can see them. Lefty, you always want to see their A move, but usually they don't show it right away. So everybody over here on the first base side in the Armstrong dugout is watching that pitcher as he throws those balls over to first base.
Way up high with that one as Munt wheels out of the way. Breaking ball, chop back foul by Munt, so 1-2. Haven't seen Armstrong given any hint of starting Pilon over there. Obviously with the lefty on the mound, it's a little bit tougher to really get a great break when he can just be looking at you in the stretch position the whole time. This time he is going, pitch is high and away, throw down is wide, and it's nicely backed up though by Law, so it'll be a stolen base for Pilon. No error on the play since he did not advance another base. They're talking about the timing on covering on steal and whatnot. It wasn't a very good throw either way, but you see you're kind of throwing to a moving target, and a month from now that'll probably look a lot smoother for the Huskies, or even a couple weeks. Breaking ball hung up high there.
The trick there on the catcher is, you always want to throw to the bag, because no matter what, either the shortstop or the second baseman, hopefully that's another thing they will work on over the weeks, is to make sure they know who's covering the bag.
And that one low and away, and Munt will work out a walk. So 2 of the first 3 hitters have walked here for the Falcons. See if there'll be a runner coming out for the pitcher. I suspect yes. And we will see Luke Rader running as the courtesy runner for Armstrong. So 2 on with 1 out now, and Grant Proctor, the third baseman and cleanup hitter, stepping up. Grant was 0 for 1 with a couple of walks in the game against Hopkins. So Hunter laboring a little bit here as he's walked a couple hitters already, and a fly out mixed in, and there's a strike as Proctor appeared to be looking all the way there and took one fastball at the knees.
Yeah, and again, I think that's just, if you're going to have the take sign from coach, you might as well square around and bunt. Look like you're going to bunt every once in a while, show the pitcher a different look and what they're not expecting when he turns around and throw that pitch.
Proctor chased one that was a little bit low, and now quickly falls behind 0-2 here. Hunter up high. He's been up on a few occasions, not getting that great maybe extension and leaving the ball up.
And they always say it's better to miss low than high, because up high, that's where the batters have a lot of power and it's at their eyes. It's easier to see. Down low, it's hard to get that bat down there below your knees.
Ooh, and a rip and a miss at a breaking ball there. Nice pitch by Hunter, and Proctor goes down on strikes for out number 2. And now Noah Wiesjohn, the catcher, will step up.
Yeah, it looks like he swung right over that pitch. That breaking ball had a good, healthy swing at it, but swung right over the ball and just missed it.
Wiesjohn was 0 for 3 in that game against Hopkins. In fact, fanned all 3 times, so he's wanting to get himself established. Had a good hockey career for the Armstrong Cooper program. So you see a couple base runners aboard, but now 2 outs. Armstrong batting here in the bottom of the first after Andover went out 1-2-3 in the top. Wiesjohn driving and well out to left field, and this one will be to the base of the fence. It's a fair ball and should score 2. Second runner, here comes the throw, and he's going to be out at the plate. Rader is cut down. Pilon will score to make it a 1-0 game. It's a double for Wiesjohn, but the second runner, Rader, is cut down at the plate on a nice relay there. I spoke too soon, obviously, saying should score 2. And it did look like this was a bit of a gamble to send him here. I don't know if he didn't get the greatest break or But actually it was, you know, pretty good job to recover it by Gravenich out there. And then you'll see the throw. Nice relay by the third baseman, and it was actually in plenty of time there, and Rader did not get there. So 1-0 Armstrong after 1 inning. We will come back with more baseball here on CCX in just a moment. Welcome back here to Armstrong. It is 1-0 Falcons here as we get set for the top of the second inning. Andover will have their 4, 5, 6 hitters. One, two, three first worked by that guy Munt, so it'll be Ryan Coltis, Noah D'Agostino, and Logan Gravenich, the 4, 5, 6 hitters coming up here for the Huskies. Coltis had the game-winning sacrifice fly against Blaine yesterday. Takes the first pitch for a strike.
Yeah, not the most exciting way to win a baseball game with a sac fly, but any way you win a game, that's a win in the scorebooks, and it's key to get the bat on the ball when you get the runner on third with less than 2 outs.
Lifted foul and out of play down the right field side here, so 0-2. That one is in the dirt and gets away, so ball and 2 strikes here. Trying to see if they could get Coltis to chase something there.
He had a pitch to waste on an 0-2 count. Not a bad place to miss down in the dirt. Fortunately, he didn't swing as that ball got away from the catcher, but here he is still ahead in the count.
Fought that one off. Stays 1-2.
Out there with no sleeves on. That's a ball player there.
Breaking ball called third strike as Coltis is caught looking here to begin the top of the second, and D'Agostino will be the hitter.
Yeah, nice breaking ball there to get that strikeout. You can, even though we're from the side here, you can usually tell when a pitcher's ahead in the count and they throw a breaking ball when it's going to be a strike from the side, because it's at the right level. If they throw the breaking ball where they want it on the level, it's usually pretty close to the plate. And to get that third strike, it's a nice start to the inning here.
There's a look at that called third strike. First pitch was over for a strike to Noah D'Agostino, the Huskies shortstop here. That one missing wide, 1-1. And that one misses as well. 2 balls and a strike now to Noah, with Logan Gravenich on deck here for Andover. And that one misses away. Obviously, it's been a while ago, 2 years ago. These teams were 1 spot apart in the standings in the Northwest Suburban. Armstrong finished 1 game better than Andover, and although the Huskies beat Falcons head-to-head, but again, as we've talked about, obviously that was mostly all different players than what we're seeing out here today. Popped up foul. This one might get out of play here, and it will.
I love the "you got room" yell from everybody. It's like, it's pretty close. No, yeah, it's an interesting perspective to be thinking about, especially from the coach's perspective too. You know, when you come into the season, you're building off last year where everything, you know, was chaos, and then this year you're like, oh, I lost, you know, 10, 12, 15 players, not only to graduation, but to other sports or family precautionary reasons. Everybody's approaching this whole scenario differently.
Rip and a miss as Munt throws a fastball past D'Agostino. So 2 batters, 2 strikeouts here in the second, and Logan Meyer will be the hitter now for the Huskies.
An aggressive approach at the plate, but nice pitch to get the strikeout, and he's having a good start to this game here.
Shoots a strike in there to Graveneck, so 0-1. The one thing I kind of like about Munt is it looks like he wants the ball and wants to come back and pitch. I mean, he's looking confident out there.
Yeah, I was watching him a little bit before the game out in the warm-up pen, and you know, I heard him a couple times say, "There it is, that's it." Like, he could tell when the ball was released, he knew it was a good pitch, and that's usually a good sign of a pitcher being on top of the game is when they're throwing strikes, of course, but when they can tell when they're throwing good strikes, a good pitch as right as it comes out of the hand is a big tell.
Well, the Andover bench glad that they added fencing in front of the dugouts a couple of years back here at Armstrong, as he smoked that one pretty good at. It would have been sending some guys dancing out of the way, but now just harmlessly hitting that fence. Fouls that one back. Might have been up and out of the zone a little bit, but you know, when you got the 2 strikes, you're protecting a little bit. Logan fought it off.
Stayed alive, but behind in the count, so he's trying to protect that plate, but Armstrong in a good spot to get out of this second inning here with a 1-2 count and 2 outs.
Little chopper. Proctor waited back, now fields it on a hop, and a nice strike over to first base. He's had a couple of pretty good plays there. So Andover in the second, no runs, no hits, and no one left on board as they go 1-2-3 for the second straight inning. It remains 1-0 Armstrong. And welcome back here to Armstrong High School. Along with Drew Keogh, I'm Jay Wilcox. Our first baseball game of the season, and we'll have another one for you on Friday as Osseo and Maple Grove do battle. They were supposed to play Tuesday, which would have been our opener then, but it wasn't too great of weather that day with snow flurries falling. I know the Twins ended up playing through some snow, but those teams postponed, and we'll play Friday and watch for that one here on CCX as well. John Jacobson will be on hand with Brian Cosgrove for that one. So we go to the bottom of the second. Dayton Franke, Chris Bray, Nolan College, the 6, 7, 8 hitters coming up for Armstrong.
Yeah, good start to the game here for Armstrong. A couple clean innings in the field, and had a chance to put 2 on the board in the bottom of the first. Ended up with 1, but take what you get and try and build on that.
Yeah, they had a couple of walks, and then Wiesjohn drilled a double to the base of the fence and left. It scored 1 run, but then the second runner was cut down at the plate. Franke takes that one in the dirt for ball 1. He was 1 for 3 in their opener against Hopkins, had a single. And a freshman, he's a pretty good-sized freshman, isn't he? I mean, you get the feeling he's going to be probably a pretty good ball player by the time it's said and done. Wow! He already is, as that one's out. Franke jumps on it and pounds it out to left, and his bench is
You pretty much set it up for him, right? I mean, you may have had a bug in his ear listening to you, but yeah, it's a big kid at the plate. Not the hardest of swing, but when you got some muscle behind that bat, and you square that ball up, you put it out there pretty far, and that's exactly what he did just right there. Good for him.
Gotta love that reaction too. These guys, they know he's kind of a young prodigy, I'm sure, and they were pretty pumped up when he came and turned on that ball and drove it out to left.
Yeah, I think the upperclassmen were more excited than he was. He doesn't know how to react. He's like, hey, I just did that one pretty well, and now I get to go celebrate with the rest of the team. Yeah, this is fun.
Now, if they'd really thought about it, they might have given him the silent treatment, just kind of in reverse there. But no, it was exciting. So Chris Bray will be the hitter here for Armstrong. Takes a strike there. So Hunter, the last couple of hitters have hit the ball pretty well. Weisjohn hit one that hit the fence in the bottom of the first. And then that time, Frankie turned on one, pulling it out, driving it over the fence. This one lifted to left field, hit pretty well again, but this one's going to stay in the park. Fighting the wind a little bit there with Gravenick, but he'll make the catch. So Bray flying out to left field, one gone. And now Nolan College, the DH, will bat.
Yeah, I think he got lucky on that one. Just missed that and popped it up a little too high. The wind's blowing out a little bit to the left field, but 10, 15 short of the fence there, and just missed it.
Yeah, for a ball that he really got under, it still went quite a ways. So you're right. I think that one wasn't terribly far from being more trouble there for Hunter. College walked in his only plate appearance against Hopkins in that season opener. I think they're looking for that home run ball out there.
Yeah, I think the kids are out there. I think they want to track that one down. There might be a reward for that.
There's a strike. That one is in the dirt. Cut and a miss. So College and Hunter in a good battle, and now full count. And that one's in the dirt, and College will work out a walk. Third walk issued by Hunter so far here for the Huskies, and Spencer Sobiak, the right fielder, will step up here for Armstrong. Well, they're coming back. They must have found it. Yeah, it looks like the guy in the gray sweatshirt had that home run ball.
See the negotiation here.
We'll give you 2 tickets for a later Falcons game. Right? Taken up high for a ball here.
You can see Hunter's getting a little frustrated. He's not consistently finding the zone, and down 2-zip early in the game. He's starting to show the pitch count's getting up there. He's showing a little bit of frustration out there on the mound.
That one taken for a ball in the dirt by Sobiak. The 2-0, that's a strike. Throw it on to first, and it pops off the glove there of Coltis. I think that College would have been back in, although it would have been fairly close, but it popped out of the glove there, the first baseman.
Yeah, it's good to see Armstrong, forcing throws, and that's what you want to do. Is you want to make Andover execute. We saw him execute on that double to left field and get that out of home plate, but you still want to keep being aggressive and be scrappy out there on the base paths.
And a bunt drop down, picked up by the pitcher, and he'll just get him at first as Sobiak is out. Give him a sacrifice there. And so 2 outs and a runner at second now. In the top of the order, Isaac Pilon coming up.
That was a bang play, but I think it was the right call. Good, nice little bunt down the in the center of the field there. But that's another thing that those early fake bunt square rounds in the earlier in the game kind of disguise when you actually get a bunt. So it keeps Andover guessing.
Delon walked his first time up, rips it, but right at the shortstop, D'Agostino. And so a hard hit ball, but it turns into an out, and the second inning comes to an end. Armstrong 1 run on the big blast by the freshman first baseman Franke. 1 run, 1 hit, and they will leave 1 on base. Our score is Armstrong 2, Andover nothing through 2 innings.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid
Knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Welcome back here to Armstrong High School. So far, so good for the Falcons as they've scored 1 run in each of the first 2, and Andover yet to get a base runner. 2-0 Armstrong as we head to the top of the third. Tyler Lunau, Davis Goman, and Owen Forshane coming up against lefty Christian Munt, who's looked good so far here for the Falcons. An encouraging start, just the way he's kind of had command here, I think. I mean, obviously, the fact that he's getting outs, but you're looking at more than just results. You're looking at how he's throwing the ball, I think, and they have to be happy with that so far.
His hair looks good. He's feeling good. Hopefully he's warm enough out there. Goodness, it's got to be cold out there. You saw some of the fans in the stands. Good crowded here. I think a lot of the people are excited to just be out and about and watching a baseball game.
Tyler Lunau dropping one, and that will fall in for a base hit. So the first hit and first runner for Andover as Lunau hits a single into short center field here, leading off the third, and Davis Goman will be the hitter. And of course, Drew, you saw a lot of fans with blankets out there, which is always a good idea. You just don't know.
Better to be warm than cold. A nice effort here by the center fielder. He knew the ball wasn't hit too hard, and if it got by him, it was going to go way past him to the fence, and he knew his right fielder was backing him up, so he kind of ran past it and held the runner to a single.
So Munt having to work out of the stretch now for the first time, and ripping a miss. Davis Goman chasing a high fastball there, and it's 0-1. Yeah, the ball's certainly dying in the grass quite a bit, we're seeing on the ball, so the center fielder, like you said, didn't really have to worry too much if he overran that one a little, which he did. Fouled straight back, so it's 0-2.
I should say the flow looks good. I think that's what the kids say. The flow looks good. That's got a nice baseball hair there.
The mustache too.
It's impressive.
It's coming back, I think. So Lunau at first base, trying to get himself a decent lead over there. Munt will come to the plate and slash to right field. That one's going to be in for another base hit. Lunau turning and heading for third, and he will be in. So runners at the corners as Goman slaps a single to right field. And so after the first 6 hitters go out, the bottom part of the order coming up big here for the Huskies as they get back-to-back hits to begin inning number 3.
Yeah, good solid contact on that ball, lift up in the zone, push it out to right field. Not every pitch has to be pulled. I mean, a lot of hitters, my son Finn likes to hit the ball really hard, and when he does, he's like, well, I got to hit the left field because I'm right-handed hitter. I said, no, actually, when you hit it the hardest, you hit it out to right center field. That's where most of your power will be. It feels good to pull the ball, but good hitters you'll see try and push that ball to right field when they're outside.
I think a good play to not gamble on that one by Sobiak and right too. Right initially, he was hoping that he was going to be able to run that one down, but it could have really spelled trouble if it had gone by him. So,
yeah, and keeping that runner at first is pretty big play there.
For Shane, the hitter, runners at the corners, and he drives it out to left field, and that one's going to be down for a hit, and Andover is on the board. And the runner Goldman will have to hold on at second, but Lunau comes in to score on the RBI single for Shane. So as we said, the bottom part of the order delivering here for the Huskies. And obviously, too, you've had a little bit of a chance to see, what the starting pitcher has when your teammates have been up there, and that might help out a little bit too here. So just when you thought Munt was really sailing along, it's been single to start the third for the Huskies, and it's a 2-1 game.
Yeah, another good at bat there for the Huskies. Left-handed hitter slicing the ball down the left field line. Armstrong doing a good job to keep the runner at second there, so he didn't go first to third on that play. So still got the force out at third.
Kyle Law flied to right field his first time up. This time comes up with a couple of runners on. And he hits a rope. It's caught. Throw to second, though, is a little bit low and gets away as diving back in was Goman. So a line out to short by Law for out number 1, and they almost had 2 there. I don't know for sure if he would have been out anyway, so no error on the play. That throw and the runner arriving about the same time.
That ball was hit too hard for that runner to get too far off second base. That was probably one of the hardest balls we've seen hit so far this afternoon.
So Max Hunter will be the hitter. He had a little slow roller to third that Proctor threw him out on in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. But safe to say the Huskies have started to time things up a little bit better against Munt here, as the first 3 guys got singles, and then, as you said, Law probably hit the ball harder than any of them, but right at the shortstop. Ooh. And this one is hit well as well, and it's going to be over Sobiak's head. Game is tied. Throw will come into second, and it's runners at the corners as Goman scores to make it 2-2. For Shane around to third. He held up initially there, and it was, I think Hunter might have been able to make second, except for he had to wait to make sure that Forshane was going to keep going.
Yeah, he had to watch to make sure that ball got over the right fielder's head, and once it did, he hustled down the base paths, but you don't want to get doubled off at first base on that kind of a play, just over his head.
So 4th hit of the inning for the Huskies. Logan Myers is the batter. Runner from first is going. A pitch was low, and Wiesjohn will just hang on. So Hunter in at second. Second and third now with 1 out. It's tied 2-2, and Myers a golden opportunity to put his team in the lead. Things can sure change in a hurry in baseball, right? I mean, things are looking good for Armstrong. This one popped to short left. Probably not going to be deep enough to score the run. He'll bluff. Great throw is right into Wiesjohn as Campbell making the play out there for Armstrong. So that is out number 2. And Ryan Coltis will be the batter here for Andover.
Yeah, big out there for Armstrong. And like you said, the ball not hit too far, and the runner at third base forced the throw to come in, and it's a good decision on his part not to force that play at home plate because he would have been out. It was a great throw.
Coltis took a called third strike his first time up. Takes ball 1 here, and Huskies want to be greedy here. I mean, they've already tied it, but now if you could get, just any kind of ball through the infield, probably going to mean 2 more runs.
Yeah, this is a big spot. If that ball gets through the infield, that should be 2 runs.
Chased one there, and it's 1-1. I think it varies a little bit too as to how much summer baseball anybody got in last year. I think some associations or whatever were able to play some not very much, or if at all.
Yeah, it's an interesting season because last year spring sports everything was canceled for the most part, and then summer, some leagues tried to play, some leagues weren't sure what to do. I know I'm in St. Louis Park, and we had a little league season. It was great. We all, we were cautious and careful, but it was great to get out. But those teams that didn't get a chance to play, it's a big change to come back and reassess where you were and what you're doing, and get the rust off, and you got a whole new team that played last year, and how do you catch up?
2-2 pitch. Both the last 2 pitches were close. One was a ball, one was a strike. Munt trying to get out of trouble here. Coltis fouls it back out of play.
Yeah, big spot here for Munt to try and limit the damage here. Get out of this. If you can keep these runners on the base paths and not let the go-ahead run come in, that's a huge advantage for them, escaping a big inning potentially for Andover.
I think coaches want to see how their guys react to a little adversity too. I mean, obviously you'd rather he kept on sailing along, but you want to see how he fights back out of this kind of trouble. That pitch is wide. Runner is coming home, and the throw not going to be in time. As for Shane coming in to score on the wild pitch, and it's 3-2 Huskies. And Hunter moved over to third. It was interesting that Shane got kind of a weird break. He was way inside the baseline when he started out. But you see, easily making it here.
Yeah, he definitely beat the throw and drops the ball, so he's safe no matter what. But again, important for Armstrong here to focus and not let this inning become bigger than it already has for Andover.
Coltis lining one up the middle. That'll be through for a hit, and it scores Hunter. And now 4-2 Andover, as we talked about trying to win this battle and how big it would be. And it is the hitter this time coming through as Coltis delivers an RBI single, and the Huskies have a 4-run inning going. D'Agostino will be the batter.
Yeah, great at bat there by Coltis. Squared up the ball, didn't have the biggest swing, but in a full count with 2 outs, runner on third, you do anything you can to get that ball in play and get that runner in.
Yeah, that's a very good description of that. He was definitely just trying to meet that ball, put it in play. He didn't have a huge cut by any means, but important to put a strike in play like that, and you might get it through the middle, and that's what he did. Runner is going as this one's popped up behind third base, and better angle for the shortstop, and a nice job, I think, there by Bray to call him off and make the catch. But the damage is done as Andover comes up with 4 runs in the inning on 5 base hits, and they strand 1. It is 4-2 Huskies as we head to the bottom of the third here on CCX.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
Welcome back here to Armstrong as Andover surges into the lead with a 4-run top of the third, and they now lead the Falcons 4-2. Armstrong will have their 2-3-4 hitters coming up here in the bottom half of the third. So Max Hunter has been kind of scuffling a little bit for the Huskies now. Sees a lead. I was going to say up on the board at the scoreboard not working, but knows that he has a lead, and we'll see how he's able to work with that here, and if the game continues to kind of swing the Huskies' way, or if Armstrong can keep it going. They've had a lot of base runners though in these first couple innings. No reason to believe for their sake that they won't, generate some more offense here based on what we've seen so far.
Yeah, both teams have been, especially after that last inning, you can say Andover's had a busy day on the base paths, but Armstrong's had a chance in both the first 2 innings, and they have 2 runs, so they've been getting runners on base, and that's what you got to do to score runs, is get that first runner on base and do whatever you can.
Bryce Campbell, the hitter, to start the third. He flied to center field his first time up, 0 for 1. Squared around there and takes that one for a strike. Takes that one in the dirt for ball 2. As we said, Hunter has had definitely some trouble with control in these first couple innings. He's walked 3. A tap foul there by Campbell. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to know what coach has in mind for pitch count early in the season here for for their starting pitcher. He's getting to be up over 40 pitches here after this pitch, and usually it's kind of getting towards the range of where you start to think about having a reliever warm up.
We'll tap her back to the mound, and the flip to first base. Campbell is out 1-3. Both coaches told me somewhere in about the 70 range would be probably the maximum. But again, kind of depends on how the game situation and how tough and how long these innings are for the guys too. But that was their general range. About 75 is what Armstrong said. About 70. For Andover, as you look there at Brian Sobiak, I asked him how things going. He said, it's been a weird year already, but everybody's just glad to be back playing. I mean, it was about a year ago at this time, or a little bit earlier, that they found out first of all, that the season was shut down, but at that time there was still some hope that, okay, maybe we're going to pick it up again 6 weeks later. Boy, we were really wrong with that, huh?
Boy, what a weird year for everything. And I can't imagine what these families with sports families with athletes and looking at college scholarships, playing for college and scholarships and all that stuff, summer plans, man, gotta be difficult. But this last year, hopefully everybody's been safe and, learning from everything that we've been going through.
Christian Munt fouling this one away, so 2-1. Munt had a walk his first time up. So both teams' pitchers are hitting pretty high in their lineups. It tells you, not terribly unusual in high school ball, but tells you that they're probably a couple of their better overall hitters and athletes. That one up high and away. And second straight time, Munt draws a walk. So 1 on, 1 out here for the Falcons, and we'll have a courtesy runner, I would expect here. Yep, Rader will run as Grant Proctor steps in for the Falcons. He struck out his first time up. And this one is hit pretty well to center, right center anyway, long run over, and nice job by Law to call off his right fielder. That was kind of the only, once you could see that he was going to have a beat on that one, the only question was, would they communicate well enough out there that there wasn't going to be an issue? And usually the center fielder's kind of the captain of things out there, and he did a good job making his voice heard, so 2 outs.
Yeah, nice play there by the center fielder, of course, playing in a field that he's not all too familiar with, but got to be vocal and let your right fielder know that you got it. You call him off and make that play.
Taken for a ball. Noah Wiesjohn smacked a double off the fence in left field to drive in a run in the first. The second runner trying to score was cut down, though, so that ended the inning. Instead of getting another run in, continuing the inning, they were out. But that pitch actually blocked by the umpire, and Rader stayed at first base as it got by Myers, the catcher, but hit the umpire.
He didn't even flinch. I don't think it caught him in a pad. I think that caught him right in the thigh. Yeah. Didn't even flinch.
Myers, for a moment, had no idea where the ball was, but obviously it didn't get very far away from him, so Rader didn't want to take any chances and stayed at first.
Yeah, it's a tough thing. You got to rely on your pitcher at that point, because usually when the ball is in the dirt, you can feel it, or you know where it went when it gets by you, and you know to go straight back to the fence. But when you don't see it back there, you got to rely on your pitcher to figure out where it is.
And if you're that runner, you're never really quite sure when the catcher's going to see the ball, so you can't just assume that he's going to take a while.
Yeah, and as a pinch runner, you definitely don't want to be thrown out and, run that risk of getting thrown out down at second base this time.
Little tap foul there. Oh, a great pickup by Todd Wiesjohn, Noah's dad, assistant coach there for the Falcons. Breaking ball on a called third strike, so Wiesjohn down on strikes. The Falcons are done in the third. No runs No hits, there were no errors, and 1 left aboard. So we've now played 3 complete. It is Andover 4, Armstrong 2 here on CCX. Northwest Suburban Baseball here on CCX Sports. We head to inning number 4. It is Andover leading Armstrong by a score of 4-2. So Munt grew in the first couple innings was sailing along, retired 6 batters in a row, but then the third was a whole different story. Huskies went single, 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 hard line out to short, then a single again, a fly to left, another single, and then got that last out, so ended up giving up a total of 4 runs.
Yeah, got to put that one behind you. Focus on this 4th inning. You had a good start to the game. Those first 2 innings were nicely done on his part. Now he's just got to put that 3rd inning behind him, act like it didn't even happen, and get his team back up to the plate, only down 2.
Yeah, I think that's a good point for a baseball player, whether you're the hitter or the pitcher. You got to have a short memory. You can't be thinking about, oh my gosh, last inning wasn't great, or last time up I just was overmatched. You got to have a clean slate every time you come up. I know easier said than done, but that's the mentality of guys who are confident and are good ball players. Logan Graveneck, the hitter, back up the middle. It's off Munt's glove. It's going to be Proctor having to make the throw, and it is wide. And Graveneck will be safe at first. What do you think, Drew? Hit or error on that? It's kind of an unusual one.
I think it's a hit.
Okay.
It was off the tip of his glove, and I think he turned his foot on the weird part of the mound. It's, you know, of course the mound goes down, and then it's probably a little wet out there, so he was trying to scamper off the mound. I don't know if he twisted his ankle, but I think it's just an awkward footing.
Right, and then it's hard to give an error to Proctor in that play when he comes in. I don't think the throw necessarily would have had him anyway. So no error, just an infield hit, and the umpire and Munt are now working with the mound a little bit there. I was thinking this when I walked up. Call me crazy, Drew, but the mound seems awful high here at Armstrong, doesn't it? When I first.
It does kind of.
That's what was making me wonder a little bit when Hunter was having so much control trouble early, too. Obviously, it's not a place he plays very often, the Andover pitcher, and wondered if that was, what he was feeling, too. Although I didn't see him, like, usually when people are feeling that, they're kind of scratching around at the dirt a lot or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and you pitched quite a few innings, and you're at this age level, you get used to what a normal mound is. That does kind of look like it's a bit high.
Tyler Lunau is the batter. He got things started for Andover last inning with a single to lead off the 3rd, and it was the first of 3 in a row and a string of 4 singles and 5 hitters for the Huskies. Now, the good news, I guess, if you're Munt, is that they were all singles. Meanwhile, it's kind of been the other way around with Andover's Hunter, as he gave up a home run and then a double off the fence as well. Lifted out to right field. Oh, well, we talked about communication earlier. That wasn't especially good communication there for Armstrong. Owen Reeve, the center fielder, ended up making that catch, but they did not do a very good job of talking on that one, and it could have been trouble.
Yeah, the important thing is they got the out. They'll work on that next time in practice for sure, because Coach will know, hey, I remember this play in the top of the 4th where you guys both had an eye on the ball, both had your gloves up there, and it easily could have fallen down and ended up being an error, but they got the out, and it never hurts to over-communicate when you're out in the outfield.
Davis Goldman, the hitter, and I always feel like if it's a ball you're not sure you can get to, you forgive a little bit if somebody doesn't really be vocal and yell it out. But that one is not the case there. That ball was up in the air for a long time. You need to be louder on that play for sure. Goldman had a single his first time up as well and scored a run, and he bunts it foul here. So it looked like he definitely was trying to put that ball in play, but when it came in on his foot a little bit there, he didn't pull the bat back, and he knows right there that he bunted what would have been a ball. But so no balls, 2 strikes here to the Huskies right fielder. Close pitch, a little bit low.
It's a good pitch.
Wiestron held that ball, and you'd see Munt definitely wanted that one. They felt that one was over the plate, but again, when getting back to having a short memory, you can't let that stay in your head either. Slow dribbler, Proctor up with it. He'll have to go to first, and another nice play there. They've shown, Proctor's shown his abilities here at third base. All of them not on hard hit balls. It's actually been the opposite, the soft ones that he's had to come in and make plays on.
And those are sometimes the more difficult ones, because when the hard ones are hit, it's just a reaction. You know, you've gone through the practice, you mentally know what you're doing. It's so fast that you just react. Those ones where you have to read the ball, you have to run in, you have to look up, target over at first base, throw on the run. He's 3 for 3 on those. That's a pretty nice play.
Got a pinch hitter coming up here for Andover, and it's Samuel Angel batting here in the number 9 slot. Big rip and a miss there.
That was a big swing.
So he's hitting for Shane, who had a nice base hit last time up. Munt will turn and chase him back.
A lot of people yell, "It's a balk." It's almost impossible to balk to second base, and it never hurts if you see their runner kind of stretching their lead a little bit to just turn and spin and make sure they don't get too far off.
Just missed with the curveball there. So 2 outs and a runner at second here for the Huskies. Angel trying to bring him around here. Again, gonna bluff to second. There's really nobody covering there, but just trying to keep him close. Obviously, you know, getting a good jump or not getting a good jump matters quite a bit here.
You know, 2 outs, you're moving on contact unless it hit right in front of you.
Rip and a miss there by Angel.
There's a trailer out. I thought that was a release date.
Got a piece of that one, and that's off the equipment of Wiestron, the catcher. Job to hang in there by Angel.
He's got a swing that if he puts the bat on the ball, he can put it out and play and make it go a long ways. But he's got such a big swing that you'd like to see some type of off speed or something down low in the zone that's going to be hard for him to chase.
Instead comes with a high fastball that misses here. The count running full here to Angel pinch hitting in the number 9 slot for the Huskies with Graveneck at second and 2 outs.
Here we go. Best pitch of the day. Let's go.
And that one's a called third strike on the inner part there. Angel thought he was going to have a walk, but instead Munt gets the strikeout. So in the 4th, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left aboard for Andover. And we go to the bottom of 4 here. It is 4-2 Huskies.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
We head to the bottom half of the fourth. The visiting Andover Huskies leading Armstrong here by a score of 4-2. Thanks for being with us for high school baseball on CCX, our first spring telecast in a couple of years. Obviously, we did not have a spring season last year as the COVID-19 pandemic first really hit Minnesota right before the season was about to begin. So we go to the fourth, and here's Dayton Franke stepping in. He blasted a home run to left field. He's a freshman, first home run, and they went and retrieved the ball and brought it back to the dugout for him and all. That was a big moment and early in his career, and like to do it again here, but obviously you want to just be thinking, have a good at bat, get a good swing. Inside with that one from Hunter.
Yeah, exciting day for him to start his season off early in the season with a home run as a ninth grader. That's exciting stuff, and it's a good start to the season for Armstrong to have a young hitter like that hitting the ball hard.
That one got away from Hunter a little bit.
But like you said, you got to have a short memory. Even though he has that home run in his stat book, he wants to make sure that he keeps approaching every at bat the same way and just get up there and good solid swings and try and square up that ball.
And as a freshman, even though you homered the first time, you didn't have the green light on 3-0 there. He was taken all the way.
He's got to earn that, yep.
And that one's way up high and out of the zone, and Franke draws a walk here to begin the fourth. So again, Hunter has battled control trouble today. Fifth walk that he has allowed, and Chris Bray will be the batter now for Armstrong. He flied to left field in his opening at bat. That one's a strike as he squared there, bluffing the bunt. Just high with that one. 1-1. Really popped the catcher's glove there as Hunter bringing that one, but a little bit out of the zone. And missed down and away there. 2 balls and a strike. Armstrong stolen 1 base so far here today. Franke, don't know about the wheels, but he's a big kid, so be interesting to see if they would consider trying to run here. It doesn't look like it so far.
Yeah, I think they've seen this pitcher a couple times, and his pitch count's getting up there, so I think they want to be a little patient. Don't force anything early in this inning.
And that was in the dirt, and Bray will draw a walk here, and I got to think they're starting to think that Hunter's nearing his time ending here on the mound. Let's see if they're going to come out and talk at least. I was thinking if you're Andover, you'd like to, if everything went well, you'd like to get a nice smooth 4th inning and just have him get through this and then probably be done from there. But looks like they're going to stick with him, at least initially.
Yeah, they did have somebody warming up in the pen earlier in the last inning, but I think they're going to talk about what everybody's responsibility is here with runners on first and second. Armstrong's been known to drop sacrifice bunts and try and make things happen on the base path. So they just want to make sure everybody's on the same page here earlier in the season. You may have practiced it, but make sure everybody knows, hey, if they drop down a bunt, who's covering short, or who's covering third, who's covering second, where's first going to be, and making sure you get that priority of getting that first out.
Nolan College is the hitter. He walked his first time up. Squares and will drop a bunt down. Hunter's going to go to first with it. Ooh, and he throws it away. A run will score. He really pulled up on that. It looked like it was going to be a relatively easy play, but instead an errant throw. So Huskies commit the error, and a run scores for Armstrong, and there'll be runners at the corners.
Yeah, that's typical Armstrong baseball there. Get runners on first and second, try and move them over with the sacrifice bunt. Perfectly executed. Pitcher comes up clean with the ball. It's a good throw. I think he just kind of caught the guy at first base off guard by throwing it so short and so soft. If he just does a normal throw right at the chest, he's going to get that guy out.
Yeah, Lunau, the second baseman, was covering as the first baseman had charged in, and I also think maybe to a certain extent he was worried about hitting Coltis, the first baseman, with that throw, so he kind of lobbed it and took something off. Got a pinch hitter here for Armstrong as Philip Ponce will step up. Score now at 4-3, and the tying run is at third base for the Falcons. Ponce, ooh, he had a mighty cut at that one.
Oh man, that would hurt my back if I swung that hard. He swung that bat all the way around to his back, which is what you want to see. I also like his cleats. He's got some good looking cleats.
He had a walk in the first game against Hopkins, his only plate appearance there. Tapper fouled on the third baseline. So 0-2 count here. Are you surprised they stuck with Hunter there when he came up for the visit, or?
I think they knew that they were going to try and get him through this inning. Now I'm kind of surprised they left him in now. But I think they're going to give him a chance to, hey, get over that mental mistake of having the bat throw over to first and see if you can get yourself out of this jam.
Oh, Ponce chased one way up and out of the zone there for the strikeout, first out.
This is one of those learning experiences if you're Andover. Give your pitcher a chance to pitch himself out of a jam that he put himself in and still lead the game with a chance to with the lead.
So Isaac Pilon coming up.
Saying that, still a lot of work though. First and third with only one out. Armstrong still has a really good chance to tie this game up, if not take the lead.
Throw over to first base. Pilon had a walk and scored a run in the first, and then lined out to short in the second. 0-for-1 officially here. Squared around there, runner, the throw back to first. And the only thing probably that saved him there was that Coltis had his back to him and couldn't see exactly where College was. Man, he had to scramble back in.
Yeah, it was kind of an awkward slide too, but he got in. The left-handed pitcher is able to hold the runner a little closer at first base, so it's not easy to get that stolen base on first and third here, as typically happens with the right-handed pitcher.
Taken for a ball there.
Yeah, this might be a aggressive play here would be to put the hit and run on for first base runner to go and put the ball in play, but like a 2-0 count, you assume he's going to throw a strike, but.
Down to second, a run will score. They'll get the out at first base, but we are tied up as Bray comes in to score. And a nice job there by Pilon. I mean, yeah, you'd obviously rather have a base hit there, but he did a good job of putting that ball in play, bringing that run home.
Yeah, good job putting the ball in play, hit it to the right side of the infield. The second baseman makes a smart play to come up. His motion's going over towards first base. Don't try and force yourself to get that lead runner or the runner at second base. Take the easy out at first, concede the tie game for now, and see if you can get out of this inning with a 4-4 game.
Bryce Campbell, the hitter, fouls that one back. He's had a fly to center and then a comebacker to Hunter, so 0-for-2 today. But Armstrong had a single run in the first, a single run in the second, and now have put a pair on the board in the fourth. Largely, the biggest problem for Andover was that throwing error.
Yeah, if they get that out, they're out. Probably, I mean, they'd be out of the city by now.
Cut and a miss there by Campbell. Campbell just able to lay off that one. You could tell he thought about swinging there.
Yeah, you want to do anything. Down 0-2 with 2 strikes on you, you're trying to protect that plate, and that was borderline, but made the right call to hold up on his swing there.
Tapping it to short. And not in time. As Campbell beats it out. Now a throwback to third. That is going to be in time. As College is caught straying too far. So Campbell will be aboard, but then College is cut down on the throwback across, and the Falcons done in the 4th. 2 runs in the inning. One base hit, 1 error committed by Andover, and 1 left aboard. So after 4, it is 4-4, the Huskies and the Falcons here on CCX.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Welcome back here to Armstrong High School. An entertaining ball game so far, 4-4, Andover and Armstrong as we head to the top of the 5th. And for the Huskies, they'll have the top part of the order coming up. Munt is still out there to begin this 5th inning for the Falcons. Kyle Law stepping in to lead it off here for Andover. Law, a fly to right on the last time, hit the ball very hard, but right at the shortstop. So 0 for 2. And he drives this one out to center field. A long run to it, and a nice running grab there by Reeve as he hauls that one in. Reeve, we during the hockey season had him on, and he had a phenomenal night in net against Rogers, and right there runs that one down in center field.
Yeah, a lot of ground to cover there. That ball just caught a little bit on the handle of the bat there. Didn't catch it on the barrel, but nice range here to get deep into right center field. Had plenty of room for the fence, but that ball carried quite a bit, and he tracked it down to get that first out.
Max Hunter, the hitter, and he takes a strike. Hunter, a tap out to third, and then an RBI single in the 3rd. He is 1 for 2. Ooh, that one floating in way up high and over his head. You have to figure the chances are pretty good that this will be the last inning that we'll see Munt out here as well. Slap to second. Juggled there, but they still recover and get the out, and that's why it's fun to be the second baseman, because you can get away with that there. If you're at short or third, that one's going to be really close play, but no trouble there really for Pilon to come back up with that one.
Yeah, nice composure there by the second baseman. Stayed back, let the ball come to him, which is fine. It was hit hard enough. He stayed down. Didn't field it cleanly, but he knew that he still had time if he picked it up quickly and got it over to first base and got that out.
Logan Myers, the hitter here for Andover. Pops this one foul and out of play.
You know, that last play is all about repetition. It's repetition, and I keep telling my young players that, you know, just do these drills, do them over and over and over, and you may get bored, but it's mentally, you know what to expect, and you're prepared for if this happens, then you know that's going to happen. You know you're going to have an extra split second, or you know you got to pick it up fast and get it over there, depending on who's at the plate.
Way outside with that one. Missed there with the breaking ball. 2-1 count here to Myers. He's 0 for 2 today. Ground out to first and a fly to left. And the fastball is high. And that one is inside for ball 4, and Myers will draw a walk. It's been quite a contrast in the pitchers. I mean, they both end up allowing 4 runs, but that's the first walk given up in the game here for Munt, whereas his counterpart has had a lot of trouble with walks. But Ryan Coltis will be the hitter now. He had a called third strike against him the first time up, and then an RBI single in the third. He's 1 for 2. And looks at ball 1, and really kind of for the first time in the game, Munt seems to really be laboring.
Yeah, you saw it a little bit in the third inning. I think it was just more frustration about the scenario of the game and the way things were going at the time, but now he seems like he's not 100% out there, which is understandable because he's 69 pitches into the game.
And going to be an infield hit here for Coltis. Is knocked down at short and probably should have even just held on to that ball. Bray ended up taking a chance over there, but by that point it was pretty obvious he wasn't going to be able to get him. So runners at first and second now with 2 outs. And D'Agostino will be the batter. You see having the range way in the hole. He comes up with it, but no chance to get the out there at that point. So an infield hit. There's a strike.
Big at bat here. You know, you got the go-ahead run at second base with 2 outs. So anything in the outfield, that runner's probably going to score, and you got an aggressive approach here at the plate. Don't give him anything down the middle that he can really square out.
In the dirt, that one's off. The umpire runner is going down to third and in safely. Good break on that play by Myers. He was off immediately. It didn't. Wiesjan got to it pretty quickly and got away an okay throw, but it's just all about being ready to go right from the get-go there. So both runners move up.
Yeah, good secondary lead there from second base. And when you see that ball is going to be a little low, you can take another extra step or two and kind of get your weight going that direction. Then as it scoots by the catcher, you go to third.
Way up high and out of the strike zone there.
This might be the last batter here for the month. Let's see if he can get out of this jam.
Yeah, one way or the other, whether he gets out of the inning or not. There's a strike.
And he seemed to take a little bit off that fastball. It still came in pretty hot and popped the glove, but it wasn't as fast or as hard thrown as the previous pitch, but he got the strike there.
Hey, come get him. Here we go.
In the dirt, Wiesjan just using that chest protector to block that one. Didn't even get his glove involved there. You can see that's a lot of those catching drills when people just sit there and fire balls in the dirt at you, and did a good job of deadening that ball so it's not caromming off to the side and allowing the runners to move up.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest things to learn as a catcher is to use that chest protector and lean forward and make a big square and make as big as a box as you can to block that ball into the dirt. You kind of want to position yourself so the goal is to bounce on the plate when it comes back so it's right in front of you and you can protect the runner from coming down from third base.
Big pitch here, 3-2 to D'Agostino. And he fights it off, foul.
Boy, that runner from third base is getting a really aggressive lead on the pitch here. So anything not in the catcher's mitt is probably going to result in a run if it's not a third strike.
See Graveneck waiting on deck here for Andover as they try and take the lead back. That one misses high and away, and D'Agostino will win the battle as he draws a walk. So they're loaded up now with 2 outs. Logan Graveneck will be the hitter for Andover. He is 1 for 2 today at a single in the fourth. Wiesjan coming out and Brian Sobiak coming out. See if he might be going to lift Munt or if he's just going to have a little talk with him here.
I think he's just going to have a talk. I don't think Coach actually had any intent to go out to the mound, but I think once he saw Wiesjan going out to the mound, he thought I should go out there and talk about this, make sure he's okay, make sure my pitcher's got enough gas in the tank to finish this at bat and get out of the inning. And it's a chance for Armstrong, and you know we saw it earlier in the game for Andover, but early in the season you kind of earn those stripes, you earn the confidence, you earn the respect for each other, and say, oh, you remember that game early in the game, we got out of that base-loaded jam, went on to win the game. Ideally, that's what Armstrong's going to say. But give your pitcher a chance here to. He's made it this far. He's in a tough spot. See if he can get himself out of the jam. And if not, you make it a learning lesson.
First pitch, fastball over for a strike.
Way to focus.
The 0-1 is over as well, and now Munt working ahead here of Graveneck 0-2.
Now it becomes really crucial for a catcher to make sure that he's aware of anything in the dirt he's got to block and keep in front of him, because that run on third base every once in a while he'll get pretty far down the third base line, and anything that scoots by the catcher here up in the count, you usually throw a breaking ball or something in the dirt, and if it is, you got to be careful.
A little bit low with that one, 1-2.
Good pitch, good miss. Wanted that one, but a little low in the zone.
And a cut and a miss, and Graveneck down on strikes. And Munt and the Armstrong bench fired up after that one as he works out of a jam. Andover in the 5th inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and they strand 3. So we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning. We are still tied up at 4 apiece here on CCX.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Entertaining ball game this afternoon here. Sun's kind of gone away a little bit, so a little cooler than when we started, but it's 4-4, and we've got a new pitcher coming in as we kind of expected we might see here for Andover, as Eli Nyhammer will be in to start the 5th inning as they switch from a lefty to a righty, as Hunter works the first 4, allowing 4 runs.
Jay, your email earlier today said you were bringing a blanket, and sure enough you did. I'm glad you did. It is chilly when that sun's down. That wind picks up a little bit. I came prepared. I have my jacket, my sweatshirt. I have gloves. It's kind of like how pitchers in between innings get to wear that jacket. For us, it's like when you're not doing anything with your hands, put them in your pockets or put your gloves on. It's chilly.
Yeah, it feels a lot different from when the game started, that's for sure. And that's obviously typical for this time of year, as you can be fooled. You come out of school and get your warm-up going when it's still nice and sunny and you think it's a warm day, and by the time 6:30 rolls around, it's no longer all that warm.
At least it's dry, though. That's the most important thing at this time of year, is because if you get wet, if your feet get wet, oh man, that's gonna be a long game.
So Nyhammer will come on in relief here for the Huskies and see what he can do. Munt, who just got that big strikeout, will be the first batter here. The 3, 4, 5 spots coming up for Armstrong as they try and get the lead back. They led early 2-0, then Andover scored 4 runs in the 3rd to go up 4-2. Munt lifting this one out to center. Whoa, Law had some trouble with that one, but he'll end up making the catch. It wasn't necessarily the smoothest looking play ever, but stayed with it.
Taking a couple deep breaths, saying, wow, I got that one. Get that ball out of my hand. I'm happy I made that play.
Kind of reminded me of the one that Reeve caught, where he just had to make a little bit of an awkward jump at the end. It isn't, textbook looking, but he stayed with it and got the out. So Grant Proctor will be the batter. Takes a strike here. He is 0 for 2. Outside with that one. And Plays like that one that we just saw from Law are really big ones. I mean, he maybe didn't read it exactly right or whatever, but he was just athletic enough to make the play, whereas if that turns into a double or an error or whatever it would be to start the inning, it's just a whole different looking thing. When you can get those outs on a play, even when you maybe struggle to read it or whatever, it's big. Especially
in the situation Armstrong was in after getting out of that jam in the last half inning and coming up to get the leadoff runner at second base. All this energy and momentum swings their way.
Pitch is low, so 3-1 now to Proctor, looking to get on for the first time here. Obviously facing a new pitcher this time around. Right over for a strike there from Nyhammer. That one is low, and Proctor will draw a one-out walk here for the Falcons. And Noah Wiesjohn will be the hitter. Wiesjohn doubled off the fence to drive in a run in the first, and then took a called third strike in the third. Flip to first is wide, and Proctor will dig for second and will be in. So a throwing error on the pitcher Nyhammer there will advance the runner.
That's the difference of having a left-hander on the mound versus a right-hander. The right-hander pickoff is much more difficult, so you can get a little bit bigger of a lead, but you also run the risk of having a better opportunity of having a bad throw over there, because it's a lot easier for a left-hander to throw the ball over there because they're seeing it in their natural throw. But for a right-hander, it seems pretty easy, but it's not always as easy as it looks.
And that one was wide enough that the first baseman, he was turning to run to go get it right away. I mean, he knew he had no chance.
Yeah.
At that point, you're just thinking, I got to hold him to second and not all the way to third. Because that can be a very difficult throw. You go run it down along the fence and then have to throw all the way to third. Oof, that pitch is behind Wiesjohn. And Proctor advancing to third on a wild pitch. So Huskies struggling a little bit defensively in this inning as they get the throwing error by Nyhammer, and then the pitch is nowhere near the plate, so no chance for Myers to get that one. Wiesjohn now hitting with the runner at third and one out.
Of course, Andover brings their infield in with the go-ahead run here late in the game at third base with one out.
Wiesjohn squaring, takes it high and inside for ball 4. So Nyhammer has walked a couple hitters here, and then that throwing error mixed in. And here's Dayton Franke stepping in, and Drew, like you, did a double take to make sure, is this really him? Switch hitter. You don't see that a whole lot in the high school game. He pounded a homer to left field as a right-handed batter back in the second inning, and now turns around and bats from the left side for the first time. Runner going from first. Throw down is in time, and they don't score the run either. So, wow, Andover, a lot of times people aren't willing to do that just because they're worried about that go-ahead run scoring, but Myers comes up and throws a strike, and they get the out at second. That is huge. Now 2 outs.
It's down.
And Franke will drop one down the right field line for a base hit, and the go-ahead run will score.
Wow, have a day.
And you hear freshman yell from the bench there. So Armstrong loses a runner on the caught stealing. However, they still get the go-ahead run there as Franke drops that one in to score Proctor. His second RBI of the day. Has been on all 3 times, and Chris Bray will be the batter. takes a strike.
Yeah, what a huge at-bat to get that go-ahead run in after they got that runner thrown at second. And, you know, just to think through switch hitting in 9th grade and you know, being able to see that much of an advantage, not only be able to swing the bat as well, but, you know, have the ability to pick up that ball from the left-handed and right-handed pitcher and get the advantage.
And Frankie will advance on that pitch in the dirt. It was actually off the mask of Myers, who did a pretty good job really getting to that in a hurry, although his throw was a little bit off target. And Frankie, they're kind of excited about that one too, to see the big guy rumble down to second. Now a pickoff throw, and he was caught unaware a little bit, but not close play there.
Yeah, a couple nice plays here by the catcher back-to-back at bats. You know, that throw down to second base to get the runner, and then that block. It was a nice block with the mask, but wasn't able to get the out, but still nice to keep him in front of him.
Bray had a fly to left and a walk. He scored a run in the 4th. That run was actually the tying run that made it 4-4 at the time, and now Armstrong has just gone ahead 5-4 here in the bottom of the 5th. It seems, I mean, more and more you're seeing guys who kind of are used to being relievers, but it still seems like a lot of high school games you see the relief pitchers that come in just struggle a little bit to get into the flow of the game right away. Now we're probably going to see that with Armstrong, you know, to see what they've got too. There's another walk. That's the 3rd walk of the inning given up here.
Yeah, it's tough to come in as a high schooler because you feel that pressure of your teammates looking at you to come in and keep the game tied. You know, you haven't done really much to contribute on the mound up to this point, and then you're able to, you know, put yourself in a tough spot and with a couple walks, and now you're really starting to stress yourself out a little bit.
Nolan College takes strike 1. He's at a walk, and then last time reached on the throwing error by the pitcher Hunter on that bunt. With that one, it's 1-1. And Armstrong's actually lost 3 runners on base in this game too. They had that caught stealing. College was caught rounding third too far,
right.
And then early in the game they had a runner thrown out on a nice relay to home plate on a double.
Yeah, they had quite a few base runners.
Back right away here, bud, just in case.
Just outside there, 3-1. And if you're Andover here, I mean, you don't want to use up a bunch of pitchers in one game necessarily, but at the same time, you don't want the game to get away from you here. Nyhammer clearly struggling to throw strikes here. And there's ball 4, and College will draw a walk, so they'll be loaded up now for Spencer Sobiak, who re-entered after being hit for by Ponce. Well, maybe he won't bat. We'll see. I don't know if Andover may be going to make a pitching change here as well, as Nyhammer just struggling to get it over the plate. I think we are going to see a change perhaps for the Huskies. He hasn't handed the ball over just yet. I may be wrong about that.
Yeah,
no, Armstrong really discussing here. I think they're going to pinch hit again for Sobiak, but I don't think they've declared that just yet.
Let's go, Spence.
No, looks like they are going to let him bat. And on the flip side, Andover is going to stick with Nyhammer here.
I know, hey, I tried.
Chance for Armstrong to break this one open and get a big lead going in the last couple innings of the game. But if you're Andover, all you need is that one out to get out of this jam.
Sobiak had a sacrifice bunt in the 2nd, and then Ponce hit for him in the 4th and struck out. Gotta believe he'll be taking to start this at bat here after the struggles to throw strike. And that one was not close. And it's fairly obvious here that Nyhammer is, that they want him to they'd be okay with him just throwing it right down the middle, but he's not been able to do it. At that time it was a strike.
Yeah, he took a little bit off that one and made sure he threw it down the strike zone, in the strike zone. He's missed outside and up quite a bit. I'm trying to make sure he keeps it in the plate.
And this one slashed out to left center field. It's going to be down for a hit. It'll score 2. Actually, it will not score 2. It'll score 1. As Franke comes in to score, and it's now 6-4. Nice hit by Sobiak to drive in a run.
Yeah, you would expect 2 runs to come in on that hit, but that ball was hit pretty hard to left center field, and good job by the center fielder to quickly get it in. Overthrew the cutoff, man, so the run would have scored, but still, it was Armstrong being cautious there and trying not to get that third out at the home plate and keep the bases loaded here.
Yeah, and Isaac Pilon, the top of the order, coming up here, and he takes a strike. And I was looking at that replay, wondering, did they get a late break off second? But not really.
No,
it was just the ball got to him so quick, like you said.
Yeah, and I think they're playing fairly shallow. I mean, it's cold out. It's hard to hit the ball over the outfielder's head.
1-1 now to Pilon, who has walked, lined to short, and then drove in a run with a ground out in the 4th. Armstrong now leading 6-4. A couple of runs here in the bottom of the 5th and looking to add to it. Bases still loaded, 2 outs, and that one way high. You'd rather drive in a run with a nice base hit, but if it happens to come with a walk, you'll take that too.
Yeah.
Pops it up. Foul down the left field line. That's going to be a tough one. Yeah, they cannot get to it. So Pilon will still be up there. You hit those kind, you're just thinking, get down, ball, get down. Don't let them get to it. But that was a tough one. I mean, there wasn't much chance. Even if they'd gotten the perfect break on that ball, it was too far. Fights that one off. Trying to kind of break it open a little bit, as Drew said here. I mean, 6-4 is nice, but 8-4 would be even better. Hits it again down that left field line, and again, that's going to be too far, and this one actually got out of play anyway.
Yeah, and I think they learned their lesson on that last at bat. That runner from second's got to score in this situation if the ball's hit the outfield. Of course, anything in the infield, you don't want to be too risky, but you want to get that eighth run across the plate if there's a base hit here with 2 outs, because that runner's breaking on the swing.
Ooh, and just got a piece of that one as the battle continues here. Nyhammer's got to be, getting your confidence a little bit more. I mean, he's had a very difficult inning here, but he's been able to throw strikes here when needed here in this at bat. It's still 2-2 to the Falcons' second baseman and leadoff hitter Isaac Pilon. Knocks it down to second, and the Huskies will get out of trouble, but Armstrong retakes the lead as they come up with a couple of runs here in the bottom of the 5th. Our score through 5 is 6-4 Falcons.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there, choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Armstrong, pitching change as well here as they will go to Nick Hubbard, the senior right-hander, coming on in relief of Munt here as he will begin the 6th inning. And I think they got what they wanted out of Munt for sure, as he was able to get through 5 and had a little struggle to get through that last inning, but he was able to do it. And Andover and Coach Anderson here looking for a little rally. They will have the bottom third of the order coming up, but that's how their big rally started in the 3rd. All 4 of their runs came after the 7, 8, 9 spots got singles to begin the inning. So they aren't necessarily feeling bad about having the bottom third coming up here.
Yeah, this is the part of the order that did the damage in the third, as you said. And going back to Month, he had a really solid outing. And, you know, take away that third inning, he has a clean sheet. And, you know, a good first outing here for him on 2021, and something to build on, getting that bases loaded jam third out last inning.
Well, and we saw, you know, Nyhammer struggle as he came in. And keep in mind, too, it's a kind of a cold day, which I think makes it a little bit harder to be sharp as you come in. And now we're going to see what Hubbard can do in that same kind of spot as Tyler Liu now stepping in. He is 1 for 2. Liu now lifting it to left field, and it's going to hang up and be caught. As a nice job by Campbell to get over there and to that one on the read. So 1 gone here in the 6th.
Good solid swing there by number 17, Luna, to put that ball in the left field, but just didn't square it up on the barrel of the bat. I think he caught on the outside of the barrel, just didn't get the full swing and square it up, but good contact.
Goman stepping up now. He is 1 for 2 and chased that one.
Definitely caught him off balance on that one. Great breaking ball.
Chop foul at the plate, and Hubbard, job 1, at least so far, he's doing, throwing strikes coming out.
Yeah, it's it's a lot easier to come out with a 2-run lead than it is to come out tied in the road, and be on the road and trying to keep your team in a tie situation. But you know, at home, throwing on your home field with the 2-run lead, it's a lot better situation than what the Andover reliever was put in. And we're seeing him just come out and throw strikes, and see if Andover can put the ball in play.
That one gets away from him a little bit, so 2 and 2. In the hole, nice stop. Throw not going to be in time though, as Goldman beats it out for an infield hit. Pretty solid glove work there to even get to that one and then come up with it, but not much of an opportunity there to actually get the out.
Yeah, great footwork too. He got up, spun around, good strong throw over to first base. Just missed the runner, but it'd take a minor miracle to get that out at first base, and that type of ball hits the gap.
Angel will be the batter here. He struck out in his first at bat as he replaced Forshane in this spot in the order. So runner on first, 1 out here for Andover, and that one will get away as it was in the dirt and then off the mask of Wiesjohn. Wild pitch. Charge to Hubbard.
That ball comes up pretty short of home plate and outside in the opposite batter's box there. Tough play for the catcher.
Fastball is over for a strike.
Nice to see him come back there and throw a good solid strike after that poor pitch, the previous pitch.
Drives this one to left or to right center field. A long run. They're not going to get it. Reeve gets to it. They're going to send the runner home, and that throw missed the cutoff, so the run will score. Goldman hesitated. I don't think he was going to try to score initially, but then he kept on motoring and will get in with the 5th run of the game for the Huskies, as that throw was not on target to the cutoff.
Yeah, I think he had to kind of hold up on the base paths because the ball was hung up in the air quite a bit. But once he saw the center fielder not get to it, he had to hustle, and he kind of hesitated around third as well. But once that ball gets over the cutoff, man, it's an easy decision. So he holding up that runner, but yeah,
he was held up initially. Yep. Yeah, it looked like, and there's no reason to gamble in that spot either.
Right.
But ultimately, end up making the right read when you could, he could see that they weren't smooth on the connection there. So now the tying run is at second base as Kyle Law stepping in for Andover. Proctor gloves it. His throw is low. They still get the out, though. Skipped it over to Franke on one hop. And Law runs pretty well. It was a close play, but Proctor will get him.
Yeah, good glove work. It's better to keep that ball low than it is to go high. You got a big first baseman over there, but what a day for this freshman playing first base. A couple hits each side of the plate. Nice scoop there to get that big out, and the runner stays at second as well.
Hunter will be the batter. You saw in that replay that Law was convinced he had beaten that one. It was very close. Looks at a ball here. Hunter is 1 for 3 today, an RBI single in the third, and he worked the first 4 innings on the mound for the Huskies. A little bit low with that one. That one over the outside part of the plate for a strike. 2-1 out of Hunter. Hubbard trying to protect this lead. He's given up 1 run, but still clinging to a 6-5 lead here with a runner at second and 2 gone. Foul at the plate there by Max Hunter, so 2-2.
Good pitch, tough pitch to hit there, and evens up the count. Big pitch, big at bat to get this third out here.
Who's got it?
Just missed with that one. So 3-2 count now to Hunter. And that one will be a called third strike. Hunter thought it was low, but it'll be Hubbard getting the call that time. And so the Huskies are done in the 6th inning. 1 run on 2 base hits. No errors, and they strand 1 in scoring position. So we go to the bottom half of the 6th now, and Armstrong holding a 6-5 lead here over Andover.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Another new pitcher for Andover as Noah D'Agostino moves over from short to the mound here. As Armstrong will hit in the bottom of the 6th inning, holding a 1-run lead. 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up for the Falcons. Campbell, and then the pitcher's spot, Hubbard, followed by Proctor would be the way we'll go here, as Campbell will step in against D'Agostino.
Yeah, fun game this afternoon. Quite a few base runners, some base runners thrown out in the base paths, and big strikeouts.
Grabnik has moved in from left field to play shortstop. Not sure who that is in left right now, but Campbell takes high and inside. He is 1 for 3. Cut and a miss at that one. hits him in the back. So Campbell is aboard here to lead off the 6th. Actually, the first hit by pitch we've had today.
Sounded like a muscle hit, so it might sting a little bit, but it's not going to be a bone bruise or anything, I think. But right on the elbow, you see a lot of major league players wear those big elbow pads. It kind of reminds me of Barry Bonds back in the early 2000s. But like Ronald Acuna I saw last night, he has like a shin pad, and I think he wears a full body suit up there. And if you don't hit him, he's going to hit a home run. But catching a ball to the shoulder like that hurts.
Runner is going, and another great throw, and they easily retire Campbell. Well, we're talking about not having scouting reports early. The teams that are going to face Andover in the weeks to come are going to say, probably don't want to run on Logan Myers. He's been great back there.
Yeah, he's got a good arm. He's consistently around the second base when he throws it down there and easily getting the runners out there at second base.
Nick Hubbard, the pitcher, is hitting here after Munt batted the first 3 times in this spot. And boy, and looking at that again, and there's a liner and a nice catch on the sprawl there by Angel, the second, third baseman of the game. So 2 gone now. I was going to say on that earlier one, it almost looked like maybe Campbell was thinking that there was a hit and run call and maybe Hubbard didn't put that ball in play. I'm not sure, but it kind of almost had that feel that maybe he was not straight steal there, but more of a hit and run look. But either way, they got him, and then the line out, and here's Grant Proctor lifting one back and foul and out of play.
Yeah, nice play here by the third baseman. Good adjustment. He moves quickly, assumes that ball is crushed. It wasn't hit as hard as it seemed right coming off the bat, but he adjusts and times it perfectly and catches that ball as he's going down to the ground.
Proctor 0 for 2, but then in the 5th inning had a walk and ended up scoring the go-ahead run.
Glad you brought your blanket, aren't you?
I am. And this one driven out to short right center. It's going to be in for a hit, as Proctor didn't get a lot of that one, but he got enough to kind of flare it in there into right center field. So a base runner with 2 outs now for the Falcons here in the bottom of the 6th, and Noah Wiesjohn will be the batter.
Those are the ones that kind of sting your hands, I think, on these cold afternoons. And it sounds like you crush it, but you get enough of it, and it kind of rattles the bat, and your hands are cold already. But hey, he's on base.
Wiesjohn had a double to drive in a run in the 1st. They struck out in the 3rd and then walked in the 5th. And those are the kind of, as a pitcher, you're thinking like, yeah, why couldn't that have been a little more at somebody? It wasn't really hit all that well. But
either hit it a little harder or not as hard, so my fielder can field that.
High and away there from D'Agostino, as he obviously would like to keep this at a 1-run margin, give his team a shot in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, he's got a big batter on deck as well. He doesn't want to see come up to the plate.
And Wiesjohn will work out another walk. And that's certainly going to be a topic for Andover when their pitching coach meets with their guys. Boy, we just can't afford to walk as many people as we have here today. It's just been a killer. So here's Franke, who homered in the 2nd inning batting right-handed, and then walked, and then had an RBI single as a left-hand batter last time up, and he fouls this one away.
That was a big swing, and it's like I said earlier, it's very unique to see a switch hitter, and especially as a freshman, being able to feel comfortable up there and feel like there's that much of an advantage to hit opposite of what your pitcher is throwing to switch sides.
And that one hits him, so the bases are going to be loaded up, as Franke has been on all 4 times today. 2nd hit batter of the inning after we didn't have any for either team until now. So loaded up here for Chris Bray. Another look at this one here as it catches that front foot. Bray had a fly to left and then has walked twice. Takes a ball there. And this one gets away, and that's going to score a run. Oh, it is not going to score a run. Out at the plate is Proctor. He did not slide, and he was caught at home. Unbelievable. Thought, I again spoke too soon. So the Falcons in the 6th inning, no runs. They had one base hit, and they will leave a couple. They definitely should have scored one there, but they don't. So we go to the 7th. It is 6-5 Armstrong. We go to inning number 7. Armstrong holding on to a 6-5 lead. Logan Myers, Ryan Coltis, and then Noah D'Agostino will be the hitters for Andover as they try and battle back and tie it up or take the lead here. As you got to look there at Nick Hubbard, the second pitcher of the game for Armstrong. He worked the 6th inning, gave up 1 run, but trying to hold this lead here. Armstrong missing on a great opportunity. Proctor, as well as he's played in the field, that was a bad mistake to not slide there at home. And it's possible he was close to being out or safe either way, but you just have to slide there, period.
Yep, and I think a couple things happened there. I think he was surprised at how quick the catcher was able to get over to the ball. And when he was at home, he felt like he was safe, but I think the umpire called him out on a close call, just part of the reason because he didn't slide. He came in, picked up his glove, put his hat on, and ran right back out of the field. He didn't want to sit in the dugout and try and explain what he was thinking. He just made a mistake, and now he's going to try and go out there and, put it behind him.
Driven to left field and drifting over right near the line to make the catch is Campbell for the first out. So pretty solidly hit ball there for Myers, but he'll just have a long out to show for it. And one gone as Ryan Coltis will step up now for Andover.
Yeah, I think he knew he just missed that. On a warmer day, that ball might get out of the park, but it's cold out. The ball doesn't jump off the bat nearly as much as it typically does during a summer afternoon when it's nice and warm.
And then the question also was going to be whether that stayed fair or foul. It looked like it was just barely fair, but nice running grab by Campbell. Coltis got a couple of hits in 3 at-bats. He struck out the first time up. Breaking ball over for a strike. Coltis didn't think so. Hubbard, that one in the dirt.
Seems to have a pretty good arsenal of pitches. He's got seems like I have a pitch that breaks inside on right-handed hitters, has good changeup and a curveball, and of course he has a fastball, which everybody throws, but that really keeps hitters on their toes when they don't really have the standard curveball, fastball, changeup. They have an extra pitch in there they have to pay attention to.
Tried to get him to chase there, and it's 2-2. Breaking ball for a called third strike, and Coltis knew it. That one fooled him. He did not get the pitch that he was expecting there, and 2 gone. Hubbard getting a big out there against a good hitter. And now D'Agostino will be the hitter for the Huskies.
Yeah, it was a great curveball, slider, whatever you want to call it. Right at the shoulder, breaks down and down towards the knees. Tough pitch to hit.
Yeah, and there have been a couple lately that I think Andover maybe had a gripe on, but that one, he knew it. I mean, there was no doubt about that one being a strike. D'Agostino 0 for 2 with a walk. Played most of the game at shortstop and then moved to pitcher last inning. Pops it back up, foul. It'll get out of play. And that one is low.
Focus now, Nick. Lots of help out there.
Hubbard, what you really don't want to do here is walk him and give them an opportunity and make him, if he can hit the ball and hit it hard and play, then that's, you give him a tip of the cap, but just don't want to put that tying run on. Full count here now for D'Agostino. To short. Throw across is in time, and Armstrong will get its first victory here of this 2021 season as Hubbard does the job in relief, working a 1-2-3 7th. And the Falcons will hang on to win this one by a score of 6-5. A little bit of everything in this one, Drew, and a pretty exciting way to start our season, and for Armstrong to get their first victory here as they come up with a nice win.
Yeah, it was a nice hard-fought win for Armstrong. They had that third inning where they gave up 4 runs, but they pitched out of a couple jams and had a few base runners that were thrown. They easily could have had 10 runs today. But they hung in there after those mental errors, thrown out at home plate a couple times. But for Andover, solid pitching for the most part. But Armstrong just a typical scrappy baseball game, and they end up winning 6-5.
So Munt works the first 5 to get the victory here today, and Hubbard pitching the last 2 for the save. And both teams again have some, like you said, a couple things to work on too. Armstrong's going to be talking about base running, I'm sure. Andover's got to say we've just plain walked too many guys to win a ball game too. But best of luck to both teams as they move on through this schedule here. And thanks for joining us for an entertaining ball game here. Armstrong 6, Andover 5 is your final for Drew Keogh and all of our crew. I'm Jay Wilcox. Thanks for watching high school baseball here on CCX.